Hey, what's happening, guys? Dan Darrow here with another Options to Play video update. Getting things going into 2021, into earnings season. We have a short week because the markets are closed on Monday for MLK Day, but things are going to pick up. So not the heart, not like we're not getting like every single day 50 to 100 reports, but things really will start to pick up over like the next like 2 3 weeks or so. Before the open on Tuesday, you have some big banks. So Bank of America. Um, Actually, we'll start with Halliburton. So Halliburton priced in at about $1.50. This is the first major energy report. It could have some potential just for that reason alone. I do sometimes like to play like the first major print of a sector just because the uncertainty is higher, right? It is up a decent amount in 2021. Actually, energy's really been kind of impressive so far this year, and it not been a focus of mine. But I will say that I mean some of these charts really do seem kind of interesting when you go out like a little bit further because I mean they have had a big rebound, but they also are still well off highs from like last year, et cetera, right? So um, I haven't traded Halliburton in a while, but I mean it could be interesting because at $1.50 you have this Baker Hughes and Schlumberger all reporting during the week. So Halliburton being the first. Like if it doesn't make a huge move right away, maybe you'll get like another opportunity on the Baker Hughes print and then another one on the Schlumberger print on Friday. So there are actually a handful of big names that could move it during the week. So $1.50, maybe look at something like lower debit. Uh, all right, so then the banks, right? So Bank of America, $1.35 is what's priced in here. JP, City Wells, all reported on Friday. All of them traded lower. Bank of America traded lower. So I don't think I'm going to do anything with Bank of America. It's I thought actually going into the reports that the setups weren't great. I still don't think the setups are great. I think these are better names to watch for swing trades. So I think I'm going to leave this alone for earnings. Goldman Sachs, I mean, similarly, you could see just how much of a run it's been on. Just such a great, great move. They're priced in at 14.5 points on earnings. It definitely, I mean, of the banks, I mean, like it could have a pretty significant move still. I mean, I would not be surprised. It's just so extended, and I feel like paying up for options at like 14.5 points. I mean, you really have to have confidence in it, and I'm just not sure that I do. Um, so probably going to avoid that one as well. After the close on Tuesday, Netflix, so the first big tech FANG name, they're pricing about 39 points. Uh, this one has had a recent pattern of rallying real aggressive into earnings and then selling off after. So you can see, obviously, this quarter, it's kind of breaking that pattern. And that means, to me, it might be actually be a slightly better setup. Earnings, they haven't been huge events for a while. And the stock has been increasingly range bound, so that means that like option pricing has come down a little bit. And I definitely realize these are more speculative, but if there is a pretty good or pretty bad report and resolves this range, it really could be a huge mover. So I might look at something like lower debit, further out of the money, both ways, just in the event that maybe resolves the range and does move 75 plus points. For the Open on Wednesday, big chip name ASML. About 25 points is what's expected here. It has been a dud on earnings past few quarters, just really has not moved a whole lot. And it's up a ton over the last 2 months. Option pricing, very high. So this to me seems like an avoid. Morgan Stanley, another bank, another financial with a big move. The price in about 325. It's going to be the last of like the majors to report, so I think a lot's going to be priced in at that point. It has been a leader though. Stock looks very, very, very strong. I mean, I would prefer to view this as a swing trade after earnings. The numbers are good, holds higher levels, could still have room to run. But in terms of earnings, I don't know if I'm going to do anything with it. And then also before the open on Wednesday, UNH, so big healthcare name. 14 points, what's priced in here. Um, Actually, the first of the healthcare because the first official healthcare report is what I meant to say because JP Morgan, you had a lot of preliminary guides. UNH is the first actual scheduled earnings report, and they actually didn't guide at the JP conference. Um, it has been a little bit more muted around earnings the last couple of quarters, and the chart is a little bit choppier to me. I do think I'd favor the bull side, but I don't know if it'll be big enough of a mover to really reward options, so it does seem kind of like a toss-up. For the open on Wednesday, UAL, which is priced in 275, but to be honest, I'm not really interested in the airlines for earnings. Um, that's after the bell on Wednesday. Before the open on Thursday, Citrix, about 850 is what's priced in here. It's had bad back-to-back quarters, so huge drops back-to-back quarters. So here and then here. Um, Option pricing is high, but it has exceeded the price to move the past 2 quarters, which is interesting. It's not my favorite software name to trade, but there could be some potential in the options in either direction, especially because they don't report till Thursday morning. So if those option prices come down during the week, might be something I take a look at. UMP. So first of the rails. And actually CSX and KSU report later in the week. So CSX after the close on Thursday, KSU before the open on Friday. So actually, I think my plan would revolve around NSC options as like a sympathy trade candidate because UMP, CSX, two major rails, KSU also a big rail player. So NSC doesn't report, so I might look at like weeklies on NSC. After the close on Thursday, IBM. So the pricing in about 675 or so, and this one, this one, I feel like it's right at the top of monthly resistance. Again, this pattern seems interesting technically. Option pricing not too high, but IBM has been kind of a huge disappointment for a long time. So the upside seems to have more potential, but it's IBM, right? I mean, I feel like it just constantly disappoints, constantly drops. Last quarter, same idea. It with like the option pricing where it is, I feel like there may be enough room for volatility strategy to possibly work. But I have really been trying to avoid this stock for a while, just because it's been such like a tough name. I mean, like you can see like when I scroll out, like how choppy it's been. Just hasn't had any momentum whatsoever. But with option pricing, with a history of some bigger moves around earnings, I think maybe it could work. Um, Intel. So this just had a monster move higher on. So like this, so Intel, and I'm talking about ISRG right after this. Just had a monster move higher in a CEO change, and I feel like it's almost definitely going to be a void for me on earnings now. Last 2 quarters were bad. Stock got absolutely destroyed, but it's come all the way back up. I do know that the new CEO, people are optimistic, but I mean, realistically, that's not going to impact numbers this past quarter, right? I do think I favor the bear side here, but um, it just seems like a move where like a dip people would step in to buy. So I'm really not sure how much downside it has. So it seems like an avoid. And you probably heard me say this about another thing, like a lot of these names this week, but just seems like a lot of avoids with like stocks that are up a lot or pricing in a lot, and it just might be something that we need to deal with, kind of like the bangs, right? I mean, things that have had huge moves that are pricing in a lot. Sometimes you just gotta let them pass and then wait for swing trade setups after. And then what I was saying with ISRG is that they already guided at the JP conference, so I don't think I'm gonna play this one. All right. And then Friday, wrapping things up, like I said, Schlumberger, about $1.15, it looks like, is what's expected here. Halliburton, Halliburton first, Baker Hughes second, so this will be the third to report. So I feel like There's probably not going to be a whole lot of uncertainty. Probably at that point, I mean, expectations might already be priced in, right? So I'm not sure I'm gonna do anything with it, but maybe if it has a huge like drop or huge rally off of Halliburton Baker Hughes, maybe I can look to go the opposite way. But that would probably be the only thing I'd look to do with it. All right, and that's it. So definitely some big names, um, a few a few high profile names. I feel like things we could have some action, but it also could be like another like week or two before we really start to get those massive swings when the tech names start to report. So this coming week for me could be a lot of like game planning. Definitely gonna be focused on earnings, but also kind of like looking ahead to the following week and see if we get some of those rampant to report trades in place. All right. So if you like this video and you're looking for more information on trading earnings with options or more information on swing trading with options, please follow up with the link in the description of the video for more information on options and play. I hope you have a wonderful night. Stay well, and I will talk to you all on Tuesday.